I hope it's not just I want him.
Here we go. Oh, wait, am I streaming? I need to check this out. Okay. Okay, live streams. Check this up here. Okay. There I am. I am not that red. There's no way I'm that red in true life. Okay. Ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Ready? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let me just say this. Hi, everybody. I hope you've had a good week so far. Yeah, I hope you've had a good week so far. I had a very interesting day today. And so here's the picture. Well, by the way, if you're looking for the if you want to know, there should be a word for this, a single word for this, and every guy knows this feeling. There's a picture. It's like probably of 10 years ago or so of me that I just tweeted out on Twitter here. I should probably start posting the times that the show's going on Facebook too. Really, it's been a bit me. I'll do that when I play some audio, maybe. Anyway, so it's me and we had a sportscaster at the Herald named Meredith Gorman. Really great person and talented and kind of a stunningly beautiful young lady. And anyway, we had Kyle Busch, the NASCAR racer, and so we had him on the air and talked to him, and her Boston Herald Radio, and Meredith was in there talking to him, and then we wanted to get a picture outside. Meredith wanted a picture outside with him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, come on, take a picture." He was a really nice guy. And she said, "Tom, you come over too. And I was like, "No, it's okay. You can give a picture with him." And she says, no, Tom, you come over to him. I was like, oh God, that feeling when you know that he doesn't really want me in the picture. He was nice enough about it, but like, just there's a certain understanding, an unspoken thing between men. It's like, he wants the picture with the beautiful blonde lady, and he does really not want, and now I'm a schlep because I'm coming over there. Okay. And there I am. And like, it's just, ugh. I think one of the things that I think one of the most pain in the ass things about being fat is when people try to be nice. Like, please don't show me any pity. Don't show me any pity. It's like, I wasn't born fat. I was here for every meal and every beer I had, and then every other one when I was no longer hungry or thirsty. So like, I deserve no mercy. And if I lose weight from Wegovy, which is not happening as yet, I don't think, or maybe a tiny bit, then I don't deserve it. I do not deserve it. Anyway, so listen. So I went to the dentist today. I told them on the phone that it had been maybe 6 years. It has been probably 10 years or 11 years. And I stopped going to the dentist. Now, calm down. Nobody wants to hear an old fat guy talk about his teeth. So this is not all about teeth. This is about, like, why I just stopped going to the dentist. So I'd always, obviously, I had Dr. Dan, who was a sadistic guy as a kid, and then switched in high school to somebody else. Then after high school, I went right from high school into the workforce, so I just found dentists wherever I could, and I took advantage of my health insurance, and always, I worked in hotels, so they had good insurance generally. So every dentist I've gone to since I've been a free man at 18 years old has always told me, I told you guys that there's a teeth, I have a baby tooth up top and one below, and there's no tooth behind it. And now don't be grossed out here. I'm not going to get, and every dentist has told me since 1991 that tooth up top, yeah, you're going to have to get that taken out. It's going to surprise you sooner than you think. It's not really, nothing's holding it there. You got to take it out. 1994, oh, you're going to have to get that taken out. You should think about taking out. So it's gonna happen anytime now. So you're not gonna have it when you're 30. When I'm 33, same different dentists, all these different dentists, by the way, who had all been telling me that I had to get my wisdom teeth out, which I never did. That I had to get all sorts of stuff, which I never did. And they would tell me different, like some of them were like, "Wow, you're keeping up with your flossing," when I never did, or like you need to floss more when I was flossing. It was like, okay, now this isn't to hurt the community because I do know a great dentist named Mr. Toast. He is not who I'm talking about. But maybe it's law of averages. So anyway, they kept doing the thing with the you have to get that small tooth out up top because there's no root there. And so eventually I broke down. The year I met Alice in 2010, I broke down and I said, okay, fine. I was going to the dentist. She was selling me water picks and everything else. And I was like deeply invested. And but at this point, I wasn't having cavities. I wasn't having any teeth problems at all. The only thing I ever had problems, I've chipped every tooth pretty much. And so she's like, okay, we have to bring in a specialist to talk about getting rid of that tooth. And the specialist comes in and he's like, okay, so if we remove that tooth up there, she hounded me for a year. This new dentist, this is one in Brighton. And then he said like, oh, wait, if I do take that out, then we're going to have to make a bridge between two other teeth, which is tough to do. Or we could drill into your bone with a thing and then put a fake tooth on that. Although and then he said, you know what? I'm recommending against it. And I was like, okay, fine. Okay. I finally pulled the trigger. Then a couple of years later, this is when we lived in Melrose, I get a new guy, and this guy did like kind of, because he was very much the Nazi with the long blonde hair on Die Hard. And he was like, I fixed the chip teeth that you have. But you're just going to break it when you eat a piece of chicken because one of my big teeth in the front, the corner chipped off. I don't know how, whatever. And so he gave me a thing to put on it, so I had a full tooth, and then it broke off when I ate chickens, and I just have like cracky user teeth. Anyway, so after that, I was like, maybe I had one more appointment, and I was like, these people, never have cavities. They always tell me stuff that doesn't matter. Nothing they said has come true. And so that's when I just said, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And I was doing just fine until like a year ago when a tooth started to hurt a little bit. It kind of felt like the cavity you would feel, I think. Even though today the lady said, how do you know how a cavity feels? I don't know. I think it's a feeling on my tooth that's not burning or cold. I don't. So anyway, so that's why I finally went back to the dentist. And I knew that I'd take a beating. I've been like, I haven't been there I haven't been to a dentist in really, to be honest, over 10 years. And even when I was a kind of a good flosser, I brush my teeth a few times every day and whatever. And my teeth are fine. Okay. So anyway, so I'm like, I'm going to take a beating from these guys at some point. So I go in there. I know it's coming. It's coming. This is going to be a bloodbath. This is not going to be good. So it's very interesting. First of all, the dentist office is the nicest place in the world. It's in Newburyport, which is it's a little sea town. If you're not from New England, it's a very pretty little town, and it overlooks like the square, and it's really pretty. And this lady's cleaning my teeth. Well, no, she's not cleaning my teeth. Her job is to first I get X-rays, then the next one evaluates how bad my teeth are, and she says it seems like your teeth are in a condition of teeth that maybe haven't had a cleaning in 10 years, essentially. So yeah, you don't want to. My teeth are fine. Are they mustard yellow? Sure. Are they chipped? Yeah. Who cares? They're fine. I have good teeth. As a matter of fact, the lady, the technician who did I forgot. There's a name for them. She said twice. She said, you have really nice teeth. You have really nice teeth. Now, really nice teeth in the sense that, the bones were like, it needs help. But like you'd see a Victorian where you say, if they just put $100,000 in that house, that thing would be awesome. I think that's what she's saying. I think she's also saying, looking at the rest of me and saying, like, judging by what you are, your teeth are passable. So it didn't get to my head. But anyway, two funny things happened in there with this technician or whatever they're called, dental assistant, the people who do this stuff. I did have about an hour full of subtle pain, and I've got to go back. I've got about 10 appointments now at the dentist, 2 of which are just full pain appointments. One of which is I'm going to have another guy tell me that baby tooth can't come out. And then I have a tiny cavity I didn't even know about. And this other thing, this filling here, did you know that the silver fillings expand over the decades? Who knew? So I really learned a lot. I had a good time today at the dentist. But 2 odd things happened. First, I was talking to her in between, like gouging her metal instruments into my teeth and my gums. I was saying, I said, yeah, have you ever heard of Arthur A. Daniels, Dr. Dan? She said, kind of rings a bell. I said, well, he's been on like true crimes podcasts, and he was a dentist in Massachusetts who used to abuse the kids. He used to like beat the kids, and I was one of them. And she went, oh, wow. And she said, wow, I love true crime. So maybe that's how I heard the name. I said, yeah, he would get on top of you and like put the chair way down. And, like some kids he'd punch, and me he'd slap. For the other kids he'd like hold her arms or twist her arms and yell at dude like. She was laughing. She's going, oh my goodness, real? Oh, and I'm like nothing took here with the lady correctly. So and I said, yeah, and so the moms let him get away with it because he was charming and young, and she said, yeah, well, that figures. And I'm like, okay. It's not what I expected. Wasn't offended. Then I said to her, later on, I said, she's talking about all the anesthesia I'm going to need because they're going to totally demo my teeth she said, do you have any questions? And I said, yeah. Has anybody ever refused anesthesia? And she said, almost nobody ever refuses all of it except for my mother. What? That's a quote. So it's her mother, not my mother. I thought, what are the odds? I said, really? And she said, yeah, my mother won't do anesthesia. But if she's going to have any kind of real big oral surgery, then we make her do it because she'll thrash around. Like, what the freak is happening here? So it's like, okay, it's going to be one of those days. Then we're making small talk again between her torture sessions. And I say, yeah, I had a friend, by the way, who went to the dentist. We were talking about anesthesia, and they gave him the gas to knock him out, and his heart stopped. And she said, oh no. And like, I didn't say he survived yet. I just said his heart stopped, and she's laughing. I said, yeah, he was dead there for a while. And she said, oh, yeah. Oh, well, we don't do that here. And I said, well, they got him back alive. So he's like alive now. And she said, oh. It was like the most like weirdly bizarre thing in the world. It was just like, it was just very odd. And then I meet my dentist, and he's got a name like Dr. Good or something, like a name that's like too good. The third most handsome man that I've ever seen in my life. He looks like a young George Clooney, this guy. I am not gay, but if I turn gay, that's my guy. So, the dentist was interesting. It was an interesting day for me, and it's just been a while. I haven't had somebody like that intimate. I do have a PCP who I saw a couple of years ago who likes to rape me, so I don't love him. But this is like a lot of intricate face mouth work that it's been a while, so it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I look forward. Monday I'm going in for sheer pain, and then I'll do some more pain. So that was my dentist day. Now here's the other odd part of my day. I then go to Market Basket, rolling the dice. I got to find what to feed the kids, right? So I go to Market Basket, and it is in Newburyport, and I get stuff to make homemade pizzas because that's good. Kids they get into that. If it turns out bad, it's not Dad's fault. And I get stuff for hot dogs because they're also into that. Just Nathan's hot dogs, and they can put condiments. Christ, there we go, Tim. On it, and it's nice and easy, whatever. And so I look forward to ring it up. I'm looking around. I don't want any D-teamers, and there's a lot of those. There's a lot of people. There's that Market Basket to contend to be a language barrier sometimes, which isn't great because I've had people tell me that I'm in the wrong aisle before in a different language and like shut her light off and then blink it one time. Like, okay, what is happening here? Is this like are we signaling the Titanic here? Anyway, so I go and I'm paying, and the bagger starts saying, first of all, she's saying, I can't believe you texted me. Can't believe you texted me. Oh my goodness. She's not bagging. Okay. So now I'm like, she's saying, I can't believe, I want pizza. Do you want pizza? To the cashier, and the cashier says, yeah, I want pizza. Now I start recording because I'm like, okay, we're into something here. I want to see what it is. And you listen to this, and this will get us into the show here, really. Bit of a bizarre situation. So this is the cashier being illegally recorded here. No, the bagger mostly. What? You just played for me. You just played. You can't suddenly not play. Oh, no, sorry.
I hope it's not just I wonder if it's a coincidence. Do you think it's a coincidence?
Is it a pizza?
Yeah. I hope it's not just I wonder if it's a coincidence. Do you think it's a coincidence?
Is it a pizza?
Yeah.
I'll want a pizza. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what? How did he do that?
Really good.
Well, he's like famous.
Wait.
He's famous. The guy who ordered her the pizza is famous.
Famous?
You know Matt Rife, the comedian?
Yes. Him? No way.
Matt Rife, the comedian, ordered her a pizza.
Here?
I didn't want to believe it.
Hold on, I asked questions. I get into this.
Him? No way.
Here?
I didn't want to believe it, but no, he's not here. He got me a pizza.
Really? Why?
Loves me, I guess.
Wow.
He loves me, I guess.
I don't know how. I don't know what. I don't understand either.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's a little odd, right? Do we think Matt Rife got her a pizza? I don't think so. I don't know. I am at the age now, like a lot of you guys are, not all of you. I'm at the age now where I'm so almost completely dead inside that I don't really need to know. But I thought that was interesting. And I liked the fact that the day started just absolutely bizarre. I think another thing happened that I've forgotten to. But anyway, at least we got like 3 out of 4, or 1 out of 2, whatever they are. All right, so let's go to some of the show today. First of all, I ran into this Matt Rife clip, which I think we should play because he does. Here he is in Canada doing some stand-up.
Why guns? As an American, it's just how you win wars. You guys could fucking help out. Pretty sick of you guys just being upstairs like, man, they're shooting everybody down there. That's crazy. Guns.
Well, just so you know, I know somebody who ate a pizza that he bought her. So I also want to get to, I had no idea who Spencer Pratt was. This guy's frigging magic. This guy is magic. And he had a debate. He's running for mayor of LA. He is going to the beat of his own drum. He's running against Karen Bass and this other moonbat. And Karen Bass is the one who was out of the country during the fires that destroyed people's houses, including his house. This dude just has it. He just has it.
You lost your neighborhood. How does that really color your view of what needs to happen at this point, and how does that help others moving forward?
Yes, thank you for the question. To the Mayor Karen Bass's, the 1,000 firefighters that were available, but there was no engines for them because of the $17 million that Chief Crowley had asked the mayor for 9 weeks before, and Mayor Karen Bass denied it. So they may have been available, but they didn't have the equipment they needed. Not to mention Janice Quinones, who Mayor Karen Bass put into her position of power at the LADWP. She drained both of these reservoirs that these firefighters needed to put out these fires. A lot of people will talk about climate change and hurricane force winds. The winds in the Pacific Palisades never reached higher than 40 miles per hour. For those first 6 hours, they didn't go above 27 miles per hour. So without those 2 reservoirs filled with 117 million gallons and 5 million gallons, these firefighters had to fly all the way to Malibu and Encino to get water. So that, to me, is the most dangerous thing that the mayor put us up against.
Mr. Pratt, a follow-up here, though. What would you do moving forward that would make this better 2 years from now if we face the same situation?
Well, first off, as mayor, I will never drain the reservoirs that we need for wildfire protection. There's this conspiracy now that they're empty, that they were for drinking water. But if you research it, they were actually made for wildfire protection. As mayor, I'm gonna add 20 dip sites all around the communities connecting to pools. So God forbid the water system goes down again, these dip sites that'll be connected to individuals' pools will fill up for the helicopters to have water.
Mayor Bass, you have a...
So this dude is living in a trailer, by the way. What's it called? Something stream. Those trailers. You know what I mean. Where his house is. His house burned down.
This is your home.
This
This is a little on him. This is a CBS News rap.
This is your home.
This is my forward operating base.
LA mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt, who's been living out of this Airstream on his property that he and his family lost during the LA wildfires in January of 2025. This catastrophic event really galvanized him into running for this office because he was just so disenchanted with the slow pace of reconstruction, as well as his dissatisfaction with how the city managed the wildfire response. You obviously entered this race because of something very personal and tragic for you and your family. It was the wildfires and the loss of everything that you had built up over your lifetimes. All that said, the mayor is a big job, right? You're up against people with enormous amounts of experience. You have not been in politics before. You haven't run a government agency. You haven't run a city park. Why should voters trust you to lead the second largest city in the country?
I mean, look at Obama. He was a community organizer. I've won 2 community advocate awards for mine. Nobody thought, why can Obama become a senator and then the president? He had no experience running the whole entire country, which is way bigger than LA. So when people have passion and they care and they have common sense and they have humility to know, I don't know everything, but what I do know is all these very smart, successful people in Los Angeles want to get around me, get behind me, and make sure LA is the #1 city in the world.
It works for me, Spencer. Let me find another good moment of him from last night. Hold on. You got a lot of audio, a lot of good stuff coming out of Tennessee too. Have you seen any of this? They passed legislation that to redistrict and get the racist districts out, so that they have to be, just normal districts. And the left is angry.
Robin acts like she doesn't have any authority with this homelessness. She was the 3rd most powerful person in city council. She runs the homeless housing thing. She acts like this is just Mayor Bass. First off, inside safe, I like to say inside safe makes all of us outside unsafe. The reality is no matter how many beds you give these people, they are on super meth. They are on fentanyl. The DEA statistic says 93% of this is a drug addiction problem. Nithya, Councilwoman Robin's plan for treatment first, I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's gonna offer treatment for. She's gonna get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 3,000 people for $400 million. This is an absolute failure for both of them. They're a team.
So, Councilmember Rahman, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I want to just say to everybody who's watching today, you're going to watch today as Mayor Bass and Spencer Pratt attack me because they want to run against each other in the general election. Each of them thinks that running against each other is what's going to help them win. And they don't want to run against me because my ideas, which are based on real results in my district, which are based on real data, a real analysis of the system, and a focus on accountability and using every dollar as effectively as possible, which we have done in my district. I want to take this citywide. This is why this is happening today.
Councilmember Rahman, we're out of time. I'm going to give each of you 30 seconds to respond to this.
I would
Mr.
love
Pratt,
to
I'm going to start with
Thank
you, and then I'm going to go to Mayor Bass.
first off, Mayor Bass and I are definitely not working together. I blame this person for burning my house and my parents' house and my town and all my neighbors down. I am not working with Mayor Bass. Second off, if I wanted to run against anybody, it would be the council member who is terrible. Mayor Bass has at least been a mayor for almost 4 years and has, as she talked about earlier, the unions, all the unions endorsed Mayor Bass. You think it's easier to run against the incumbent mayor with all the unions or a random city council member who's been a failure for 6 years? I would much rather run against Councilwoman Rahman. Thank you very much.
Very much, Mr. Pratt. So
He's good. He's good. He's just get it. He's not afraid. It's good. Good.
Downtown is so unsafe now that they have to serve the food. All the employees have to eat inside. They can't risk going out. That's why all these beautiful restaurants are closing, because it's so unsafe. So before we require city workers to go back into any buildings, we need to enforce the laws on the street. Councilwoman Rahman is talking about safety, yet when animal rescue activist Rebecca Corey came in and said the dogs are being tortured and abused on the streets of downtown, she walked out of the hearing. She doesn't care about safety. She doesn't care about anything she's talking about. At least Mayor Bass pretends to care.
Isn't he great? One more, or maybe two more, but at least one more.
Langer's Deli, which, as you all know, is a staple of downtown Los Angeles, is asking all of you on the stage right now to end the Needle Run giveaway program. So my question, Mayor, first of all to you, yes or no? It's run by the city run needle program.
Right.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Councilmember Rahman?
No.
Mr. Pratt?
Absolutely no needles and pipes for drug addicts on the street.
Here we go.
Ever.
Got it. I'll take that as a yes.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Freaking absolutely fantastic. Good luck. I hope he wins. I hope he wins. We will see. Let's see. I want to get some of this Tennessee chaos. This guy, this elected thug, Rep. Jason Pearson, because some of the people were rioting, the cops tried to throw them out. This thug got in this cop's face, this elected guy. He ain't doing nothing to nobody. The guy was causing trouble. That rep is like 27 or something. He just got in the guy's face and called him boy. Boy?
what's wrong with you?
So he should beat him down with a freaking nightstick right there.
What's wrong with you?
Pig.
Stupid mother.
That's the elected rep thug. Who, by the way, is a rich kid with like one parent's a freaking lawyer or something. Went to Bowdoin, of course, like all these freaking pretend wannabe Malcolm X's. Hold on, let me see. There's some more of this stuff. One of the Republicans, since they got rid of essentially all the districts that were just done on race, all the black districts, now are mixed districts. One of the Republicans walked in with wearing a Trump flag. The problem with calling him a racist, when the redistricting is done and you lose all the districts that are just out of race. By the way, isn't that ironic? The districts now are not just done out of race, and so he's a racist. The problem with calling that guy walking with a Trump flag over him a racist is that you've always called him a racist. So sorry, honey. Missing its sting, lady. I think this. Oh, good thing is that this guy, you probably remember him. Rep. Cohen is going to lose his seat. His district is going away. He was willing to eat fried chicken. I think it was during the Kavanaugh thing. Thought he was a funny guy. Let's see, there was one more. I think there was one more. Here's the chaos at the Tennessee Capitol. shame, shame. The problem is you say shame with everything. You say that all the time. Whenever you don't get your way, you're always bitching babies who cry shame. The whole world is watching. This is what democracy looks like. F off, you pains in the ass. You suck. You suck. Oh, God. You see. We're going to get to some of the tawdry stuff in a moment here. Okay. Jake Tapper is salty. If this is him, is attempting to be funny. I mean, the guy is just talk about a, what does Kirk say? Call people when a drip. Talk about a freaking drip without any freaking humor in his DNA.
Well, hardly the most important part of Secretary of State Rubio's comments about Iran. He did drop a few 90s hip hop references that those of you who are not Gen X may have missed. First, talking about what the Iranian regime is doing to its own economy, he said this.
They should check themselves before they wreck themselves in the direction that they're going.
That is a reference to the 1992 Ice Cube song, Check Yourself, from his album, The Predator.
I'm going to turn this down so I don't get struck.
At a different time, he was talking about the mental stability of the leaders of Iran. And he said this.
They're insane in the brain.
That is a reference to the 1993 Cypress Hill song, Insane in the Brain.
So, right. So there you get it. Man, nobody is more fun than Shecky Tapper. Oh, God. He's such a... In a world of mediocrity, he fits right in, but man, too bad it has to be like that. In other Hollywood news, Hayden Panettiere publicly comes out as bisexual. Why? What does it matter that she's bisexual? Aren't most women potentially bisexual? All that matters is the guys think she's hot, right? I just think it's interesting. Okay, I'm now hooking up with a woman. We need to get my publicist. Why? Does it do anything? I guess it's a way for your publicist to get some ink, but you can only come out once. You only come out as an alcoholic once and a bisexual once. So it's a funny thing. I actually learned that from an editor at a newspaper that I worked at, who said he was proofreading somebody's column. In the fourth paragraph, the guy said, "By the way, I should disclose here that I'm a recovering alcoholic." And the editor said, "Are you sure you want to put that in there? You can only ever use that once." And it's true. Who cares? Kash Patel has given out bottles of personalized whiskey. This is breaking from The Atlantic. Has given bottles of personalized whiskey to FBI staff as well as civilians he encounters in his duties, according to 8 people, including current and former FBI and Department of Justice employees and others who are familiar with it. Yeah, because he's awesome. It's so funny. Oh, my goodness. Guess what? He gave out bottles of whiskey. Yeah, that's what's called a really awesome boss. Freaking, who would complain? By the way, he gave me a bottle of whiskey, bitch. Ugh. Kyle Rittenhouse, this is a great headline in NBC News. Kyle Rittenhouse was bitten by a spider. So here's the headline. Kyle Rittenhouse, who gained fame for opening fire at a 2020 civil rights rally in Wisconsin, was hospitalized. He's fine, by the way. Oh, really? He gained fame by opening fire. Really? At a civil rights rally, as if there was a peaceful rally of black people and he shot into it. That's what they want you to think. These people at NBC News, and they are the enemy of the people. They should be freaking incarcerated. Gained fame for opening fire at a 2020 civil rights rally. The people he opened fire on were trying to kill him, and they were whites. And they were rioting. Oh, you suck. You guys should be freaking... Oh, God. Suck, 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 suck. Stephen King is in the news, if you're in Maine, because he wants Hannah Pingree to be governor. And he wrote, Hannah is good, hard worker, straight shooter, grew up in North Haven, on an island off Belfast, yada, yada, yada. So that's Stephen King. I wish I had not told you that. That's anticlimactic. Let's see. Obama did an interview in which he talks about the White House using the AG to go around prosecuting whoever.
I followed even though they weren't law. And I want us, we're going to have to do some work to return to this basic norm, and we probably now have to codify it. The White House shouldn't be able to direct the Attorney General to go around prosecuting whoever the president wants.
That's this plays this on Colbert. And Colbert being a ballless snake doesn't see the irony in this. Of course, Obama did the entire Russiagate thing, set forth all of the actions that did Crossfire Hurricane. Obama was a dastardly, law-abusing, power-abusing, terrible, racist president. But no, this is the left. Colbert misses. I miss Obama. I miss Obama. Oh, freaking Obama went after me. He went after people in the media. He went after Tea Party groups. He went after nuns. He went after everybody. This guy, whenever they accuse Wright of doing something, it's exactly what they're doing. And Colbert sits there and just takes it all. What a seasucker he is. He really is. Neil Gorsuch, Creole Nation. Let's see. Just some of the stuff I don't want to waste. I passed this stuff to us. Oh, Vrabel. You saw the Vrabel got busted now with his chick on a boat. So, man, just divorce. I mean, whatever. You know, there are people who say that this is a problem because she could have been passing, information from other teams to him, whatever. And I don't really care about that. It's not my job to care about other people having affairs either. It's not my job. But you are a special dirtbag if you embark. And I know I'm a guy, and I know getting laid is fun. Okay, so you are a special dirtbag if you're a wife. And I don't know. I think she may have kids. But she certainly has a husband, and then you're Vrabel and you have a wife and kids, and a lot of people know, and your wife is plugged into probably the Crafts and the other people in the Patriots family and this and that, and you do something that has the ability to blow that up and destroy her life, destroy her reputation, harm the kids, to bring shame, to ruin what they thought they had. And now since it goes back 5 years, that means that she's been lying consistently, the girl, about her husband, and he's been lying, like about where he's been, what he's been doing. So it's all a lie. Can you imagine the pain his wife is feeling? It's like it's vicious. It's vicious. It's like, I think it's disgusting. Which brings me to poetry. I was listening today to somebody talk about poems and T.S. Eliot and all that stuff. Now work with me here because I have a theory. When I was thinking about what kind of people, I was thinking about the affair and how, like, I know a guy I knew for a long time. I don't even know if he's alive anymore. I don't even know what he's up to anymore, but his name was John. I used to know him in the 80s and the 90s and even in the 2000s. And he was a troubled guy and just lost. He would get into phases. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I'm this and that, and delusions of grandeur, whatever. Fun drinking guy to hang out with in those days. But do terrible things, and if you ever called him out for it, he'd yell at you and storm away. Oh, could never. It's total sociopath stuff. And anyway, this is why I think poetry is dangerous, and a lot of writing actually, but mostly poetry. I remember him he decided at one point that he was going to be a writer. So. And like other writers, he started to get a lot of rejection notices. He got them because he wasn't good at writing. He wasn't good at writing because he never bothered to get good. He just decided that his thing was that he was a God-given genius. He saw some movies and read some things that told him he was like, he was the kid in Holden Caulfield or all these misunderstood geniuses. He was one of those, Dante's, whatever. And whatever, he decided that he was Dostoevsky or Raskolnikov or whatever. Or mostly he was just unemployed and just a loser, but sitting around drinking. And at one point he decided that he was going to be a holy man, and he went and then quit drinking and got baptized, and then immediately turned around and told me that I need to stop swearing and drinking and doing anything else that's in whatever. And that lasted him a year, whatever. And it was an embarrassment. And so in my 20s, I distanced myself because he had no social skills, and he was just a loser and just a sociopath. And like we'd have him stay with us for a few weeks, and he'd just sit in front of the TV and like watch TV and like drink by himself and think about how, and he'd give like these half speeches to himself while he was drunk about his grandeur. and just an annoying loser, and he'd do terrible things like steal stuff or like punch people and this, that, and all wrap it up. And he was Hemingway, and this is how it was done. And I'm not a loser. I was unemployed doing this. I'm important, you see. I'm important, you see. And like terrible stuff like that. I remember him saying one time, just a few years ago, how he's like, yeah, I remember one time in 1994, this lady was really drunk, and no, this college girl was drunk, and I took her inside and had sex with her, and just like she was barely conscious according to her, and he threw her in a cab, and he was like high-fiving himself and like not a bit of shame. And if you called him out on it, then he would have like, how dare you judge me? How dare you? It was whatever. He's a child. The guy's a loser. If he's alive, I don't even know. It's possibly not. But I remember he would always hide and read, especially when drunk, loud, these poems, and all these poems, and write a bunch of poems, none of which meant anything, because poems mostly don't mean anything. Shakespeare also mostly doesn't mean anything. And he'd read them loudly, and in it, he would always put himself or see himself in the poem as the protagonist. Right? He was the good guy in everything. So no, his thing wasn't rape. His thing wasn't stealing. His thing wasn't punching some cold cock. No. You don't understand the chaos and genius that's happening. And I think like a lot of poems give people an excuse to act like fucking depraved animals, especially people who are weak and insignificant and have never built anything or had anything or done anything. It allows you then to latch on to an idea or a dream and live in that fantasy world. As if it is as if it's your excuse to be able to do everything. And I imagine that, by the way, this guy also then years later got married to somebody who supported him, but he pretended to be now in finance, and he then cheated on her and used all sorts of poetry to explain why that was fine, because it was an affair for the ages, and this was something that only happens to certain generations of people, and to the lady he was having, he was like, this is special that's happening. It wasn't that he was a piece of crap cheating on his wife, who was a nurse, who was supporting him. Well, he did nothing but stay up and drink and watch YouTube and DM people who weren't his wife, but all couched in. So like I've seen, actually, he's not the only one. I remember another guy who was also a pretend writer in the 90s, who was also doing the same thing. Delusions of grandeur, sociopathic stuff. And then I remember, and then I'm thinking about Vrabel. And I think about Vrabel and this lady here, and what they must think they're into something so special. They're the exception to life's rules. We're the chosen ones to live this role where we are both gifted each other sometimes, but we are both tormented by our other responsibilities. Oh, these are the passions that those are written by T.S. Eliot had to write about, and those written by, I don't know, is Joyce a poet? I don't know. But all these people, like, oh my goodness. And they just blather in their own stuff. And that's part of the Vrabel thing that I can imagine how they think that there is something that makes what they're doing something other than dirty, vile snakes in a pit. But that's all they are. So, like, that's my thing. And I thought about poetry, and I don't know what. I know, I got to work on this. But I think there's something to it. I do. It was insane in the membrane, but it just wasn't meant to be. Yeah, that was good. The debate was absolutely good. But you're right. The moderator was against him, too, which worked for Pratt. All right, let's do the chat, shall we? I remember my English teacher, and this is when I started to get really bad grades. In 7th grade, or was it 7th grade? I don't even remember. It was some grade. It was a grade I was failing, which from junior high to my senior year was all the grades. She started to read a story. It might have been Beowulf or Ode and a Grecian. I don't know what it was. It was something. She said, and it started with something like this. And the old goat stood above them, looking down in the sunlight. And she said, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, it's about a goat, right? It's kind of like a dog with horns, but they can climb like 45-degree angles. She's, no, what does it mean? And I said, I don't understand. She said, why are you in this class, Tom? I said, what? I don't know. What does it mean? She said the goat means sex. It's like, oh, God damn. Okay, I see. So all this imagery and have an affair poetry is really just some encrypted horseshit, romantic excuse acid trip. Just tell me what it means. Shakespeare can just speak in English too, in just a simple word. I don't have to have a hitherto, wherefore art thou, whether 'tis nobler in the heart. No, just write words, okay? Oh, it sucks. Blows. Oh, I hate him. Shakespeare, that is. Oh. Okay, let's do the chat. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey,
you know,
Billy.
of all your horrible qualities, aside from physical, mental, whatever, your love affair for Jonah Goldberg is just, it's really pathetic. I mean, he believes exactly everything that guy said. He sat there and said nothing afterwards. He believes everything. He believes the party's been hijacked by...
I think he believes part of it. Now, hold on. I still listen to Jonah Goldberg. I have downgraded him big time. He's got the fever now. He held out for a while there, but I am not a P1 anymore. It's fair to say.
Real patriots like myself. You and your wife are just you're part of the problem because you love this guy and you can't wait for Trump to get out so you can get Pence in there again for Jonah Goldberg type people. You're a joke. I hate you. I actually don't hate you. 30 seconds. 39, 40 seconds.
I like Mike Pence. You used to like Mike Pence too about 5 years ago. You know, I'm not sheeple here. I'm going where I want to go. I'm a Pence guy. I'm a JD Vance guy though too, and Rubio. We should talk about that at some point.
I can't wait to hear what these Gen AA kids come up with for sayings like Cleveland Steamer, Dirty Sanchez, Spit Roast, and Cream Pie. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with for the use of those terms too. The destruction of English language, it's ridiculous. Well, it's ridiculous.
Cheswick, I didn't. He's talking about the fact that the kids use glazed. I didn't know I still don't know what spit roast is. Actually, is that a thing? I don't know that. I don't have that one. I come from a time when you're romantic with somebody, nobody would spit on each other. I know it's old school etiquette, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
Hi, Tom. A little behind on the podcast, so
Hey,
playing
Phil.
a little catch-up here, but I wanted to comment about your creativity with the AI and some of the videos I've seen on your Twitter. I really enjoy it. I got a big kick out of the one with Alice taking a nice dive off of the battleship, and also where she's getting all excited about the big guns going off.
Yeah.
And the
Thank you,
the
Phil.
excitement that it provided.
Thank you.
But anyway, as a boomer, I find this whole AI thing with the video, at least, very, very interesting and very creative, and I enjoy it very much. So keep it up.
Thank you.
I love it. However, the big but coming in here is the one where you had the younger Alice kissing the even younger Alice.
Yes.
Was a little bit creepy. So
Why?
You might want to avoid that, but perhaps you could have the two Alices simultaneously kissing somebody else.
No.
And I would throw out Bill Malugin for an example. That might be kind of nice, and she might like that. So just thought I'd give you my 2 cents.
No, well, see, that would be disrespectful because that way I'm showing her as an adulteress or something. You can't have that. I'm sure that's going on in her head enough anyway.
Hey, Thomaston
Hey,
here.
Tom.
Hey, I know you like Tucker Carlson, and I think Alice likes Tucker even more than you, but that guy, he's a nut job. Him, you've heard him, his saying how he apologizes because he got people to vote for Trump. It was like it was because of him. Trump is president. What a narcissist! He's just a buffoon now. He had some. I liked him okay, but he exaggerated his laugh always, and he just did everything theatrical, and he's I can't stand the guy. 51 seconds.
I understand. Hold on. I just don't hate him. I just don't hate him. I don't. I know I'm supposed with a lot of the stuff that he's come out with now. We're not the same anymore politically, I don't think. But I just don't like hate him, and I'd probably still talk to him. And I mean it's weird because he's definitely oh, guys, we're still streaming, I think, right? Okay. Hold on, stay right there. Let's see where this stopped.
I liked him okay, but he exaggerated his laugh always, and he just did everything theatrical, and he's
I don't. I know I'm supposed. Okay, so I'm gonna start recording right over here. Nobody will know the difference if you're listening to the audio. Here we go. Okay. Next. Let's go back here to the next chat message, shall we?
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey, Billy.
I know I use the word delusional to talk about your family and menacing, but my God, I want to be a guest on Bill Maher. I want to be a guest on these shows. Who is looking for Tom Shattuck? Tom Jackson Shattuck. Nobody.
I said I don't want to be a guest on those shows. I do want to be a guest on Bill Maher because you get treated good. But the other shows I don't. I don't want to be a guest on anything local or anything where I have to drive anywhere at all to do 3 minutes whatsoever. So there you go. Nobody's looking for me, Billy. I can assure you there was a time when I was getting some attention. I am not.
He's looking for you.
Correct.
I tell you, I keep saying you're delusional. It's because you got a microphone. I mean, what? I'm just dumbfounded by this. So Tom, Bill Maher's going to fly you in for a couple days.
Yeah,
that's what you think is going to happen. Unbelievable. 40 seconds.
Yeah, he'd have not a lot of reasons to do that at this moment. Maybe if this podcast got huge, maybe he would. But I would do it as long as I had a nice flight and fat guy seat. Absolutely.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
I've let this go, a few episodes, and I wasn't going to say anything.
Sure.
But people keep bringing it up. And Tom, I think you know me fairly well.
Sure.
I have a very high tolerance for weird, sexual stuff.
Yeah.
But you designing AI of your wife kissing herself, that's freaking creepy, dude.
No, why? I don't get it. Why? Like, nobody, this has not been put on the board and been through the what's creepy and what isn't tribunal. So people don't even know where to be on this because nobody's ever thought of it. I literally had 2 pictures that I uploaded and had them kiss. What's wrong with that? They're of my wife, the woman I love and married. Like, that's within bounds. Is it not? Oh, crap, I gotta get my son soon. Yeah, geez, Steve, I don't get it.
It's so weird. It would be the last thing on earth I would ever think of for my own beloved wife.
No, it's funny you said that, Steve, because I actually said that to Alice. It said that I've been getting a lot of negative feedback on that whole thing. And I said, you know, it is fair to say that even though I see no problem with it, I have never, ever gotten anything like that from Steve, Tim, or Tommy in New Hampshire. So, like, obviously, it's not being mainstreamed as yet.
You know, and so it has me thinking, like, how is the BB planning on celebrating the semi-quincentennial of our beloved country? George Washington kissing himself, Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson kissing, Betsy Ross in a threesome with Washington and Jefferson. Oh my God, you are freaking weird.
I disagree, man. I think that I would put this to a jury of my peers. I disagree. I don't think it is. I just don't get it. I don't think it is. And by the way, it was just simply kissing. There's nothing. I don't get it. If you're a woman who feels differently, let me know. Like, why is it bad? Jeez. By the way, I heard Steve said that there was, at the end of the podcast, there was an ad that was interesting here. So I'm going to go to the end of yesterday's podcast and let's see if you can hear it.
The question isn't whether the world is changing.
New favorite bad takes or cringy Knox and Jamie.
Thanks, guys. You're awesome. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, this is yesterday. So.
C'est La Vie.
Let's see. Let's see. All right.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts.
We agree with that.
Here's a show that we recommend.
Uh-oh.
Do you like being educated on things that entertain but don't matter? Well, then you need to be listening to the podcast with Knox and Jamie. Every Wednesday, we put together an episode dedicated to delightful idiocy to give your brain...
Hey, Knox, slow down for a second. I am a P1, first day listener of Knox and Jamie. I do suggest the show. It's an excellent show. They touch everything from A to Z, from dark news to light humor. It's good for all ages, as a matter of fact. It's if you're a tech geek, it's for you. If you want to have fun in the sun, it's for you.
A break from all the serious and important stuff.
Whether we're deep diving a classic movie, dissecting the true meanings behind the newest slang, or dunking on our own listeners for their bad takes.
Well, that is a good time right there. I endorse.
Stories. We always approach our topics with humor and just a little bit of side eye, and we end every episode with recommendations on all.
I do want to talk to the copywriter for a moment, possibly to go hunting with him in the woods.
All the best new movies, books, TV shows, or music.
To find out more, just search up the podcast with Knox and Jamie wherever you listen to podcasts and prepare to make Wednesday your new favorite day of the week.
That sounds excellent.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
The question isn't whether the world is changing.
It's
whether you'll be ready for it. At Arizona State University, your education
we're for Arizona State University.
The future.
We are for Arizona State University. I was there for the Super Bowl and went out to the ASU, the town there, and went to a Mexican place. It is I know that I'm not allowed to be a straight man, but it's 99% gorgeous blonde women out there. We endorse.
Renowned faculty and researchers who are driving their fields forward, not just teaching about it. It's why we're ranked #1 in innovation. And #2 in employability among US public universities.
Endorse.
Future-proof your career.
Absolutely. Co-eds, guys. Co-eds.
At asuonline.asu.edu.
They actually just make kiss each other.
Better.
Lunch was
Hold on. Steve, why are you sitting through all these? That's horrific.
Helpful. Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain. And sometimes
buy this, whatever this is. I use it. Please buy it, please.
Oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy or
just
rare
make
bowel
enough
disorder.
enzymes.
Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall.
Jesus.
If you are allergic to pork or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Tell your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions.
Ask for that.
Take Creon as directed by your doctor always with food. Do not food.
Okay. Let me go check the chat here. I gotta get my son. My God, I'm gonna be late. Mark says Billy misses Alice. I agree with that. So do I. Ann Coulter also does not hate Tucker. Yeah. I have no problem with that. In Alice's absence, Billy from Billy from Manchester has turned on Tom. I've noticed that. These are sad days. All right, here we go. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, as usual, for making it a great week. I'll see you Sunday. I'll see you, but before that, ideally, I've got a food show to do. I'll be on Main Wire TV tomorrow, 4 p.m. Today we had Grace Curley on. Tomorrow we're having Mike Adams on. We'll talk a little Vrabel and some good old-fashioned politics as well. Mike is a big conservative, so we'll have a good time. I appreciate all you guys for joining Patreon. I know that the money ain't easy, especially these days. Thanks, man. See you Sunday.
C'est la vie.